Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're at the laundromat checking quarters for the week. I know we've had some crazy stuff going on with the new liquor store and the other laundromat, but we are still checking on this laundromat too. And there are quite a few quarters gone. So this is turning out to be a much better week than last week so far. We'll see how it turns out in the end. But last week we had our worst week in a while. Last weekend we had the fewest quarters in a while, 2 weekends ago. And so far this week is looking way better. So we pulled out $13.37 in cash over the weekend, refilled quarters, and then this is on a Friday. We're pulling out cash again, so we'll count that, see what we have, and I'll tell you, because I'll cheat, it was over $900 here, plus the $13.37. We had $2,200 and some, which is some of the most ever we've had for the week from cash, so that's really good to see. So hopefully that means there's a lot of change in the machines, and we'll collect that and count that here soon too. So there's a lot of weird ups and downs. Who knows why or how those happen? But overall, this laundromat's been doing very good. And if you saw our video from yesterday on the small laundromat, it had a record week last week, so that's cool too. So these laundromats having records and doing good slightly makes up for the liquor store that's just doing awful and horrible. But that's okay. It's a brand new liquor store. I've had it a week. My other liquor store is actually doing good, and it's kind of funny because that liquor store, one I bought 3 years ago, brings in $20,000 to $25,000 a week revenue. That's not profit, just revenue. And the new one brings in $8,000 a week, and the new one's in a much larger market, a much bigger store, and it's just hasn't been run very well. So we'll see if we can improve that. But that's enough about the liquor store. We're at the laundromat checking snacks, as you can see. We're checking the pop machine, as you can see too. There's a decent amount of money in the snack machine and quite a few dollars I saw. And the pop machine does okay, nothing special. It has been bringing in like $20 to $30 a week, which again is like actually $10 to $15 profit because we have to pay for the soda and pop. And we are getting low on some, so I definitely need to get some more. I've been so busy with everything else, I kind of forgot about that. But there's still quite a few choices available. Yeah, that's not amazing, but it's not awful either. And we've got some cash in there too. Again, not a ton of cash, but some. Oh, I said I would stop talking about the liquor store, but one thing too to think about, I have another pop machine. I bought this pop machine a couple months ago, got an amazing deal on it. Bought this, another pop machine, and a snack machine for like $1,400. I have another vending machine and pop machine that work that aren't in use. I could put those outside the liquor store, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because there's kind of a lot of transient population over there, and I imagine it would get a lot of sales, but I think there's also a risk of it being messed with, broken into, etc. We have cameras, but still, I can't decide if I want to do that or not. All right, here's our soap machine, which looks about normal too. Doesn't have a ton of soap gone, but some. There's quite a bit in there. So the vending is just a little bonus and honestly mostly a convenience for our customers. The vast majority of money from the laundromat comes from the washers and dryers. And sorry for those with OCD, here's my haphazard way of refilling this. It actually works really well for me. I've just put a number of different boxes in this one box together and just pull out what I need, and I know it's not organized at all, but it's actually quicker than pulling out each individual one every time and figuring out what I need. So again, sorry about that for those with OCD. All right, now let's see what's in the actual, whoa, nope, I lied, sorry. Let's see how much we had in the pop machine first. So we had $7 in cash and some dimes falling around. 72 quarters. We'll have all this in the chart later for how much that actually is. But I think it's like $25 in that range, something like that. So that's a pop machine. And then we'll do vending next. And again, trying to get all the dollar coins out of there because those jam up my machine. The gold ones are easy to see. The tricky ones are if they're silver dollar coins. And I thought I saw some in there, but I don't see them now. So we'll get this going. And That's probably a dollar coin. Yes, yes it is. That's probably a dollar coin stuck in there. And there it is. I can set this machine to take dollars, but then it won't count the quarters. It spits them all out. So you can actually set it to count the dollar coins, but it can't count like all of them together. You can just count the individual ones for what it's set for. So, yeah, we'll fast forward through all of this. So we had a few more jam up the machine, and finally we got everything going here. 164, about $40 and a couple dimes, and then 7, I think, dollar coins. So, oh, excuse me. I had a bit of a cold. Still do a little bit. And there's an error coin on some of the Sacagawea dollar quarters that sometimes I look for, but every time I look for errors and stuff, I never find anything. Mostly I just waste a lot of time doing it. So anyway, all right, now let's see what we've got in the soap machine. $130 something. Yeah, that's about what we've had lately too. All right, now the fun part. So when I collected quarters on Mondays, I collect quarters out of my big machines like this one. Oh, that's not that many. So last week was real bad. There was just not many quarters in here. It's weird, and that was after we had a record week the week before. But this Monday, I collected quarters from these machines, and there's a lot of quarters in there. That one's not that much either. So I was hoping there'd be a whole lot of quarters in here today on Friday, but so far there's not as many as I hoped. Oh, that's better. That one was almost full, and that's twice I emptied it. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. But you know, we took a lot of quarters out on Monday, and then hopefully take a lot of quarters out today. But like I just said, you know, there weren't a ton in those first two, but that third one had a bunch. All right, we'll see what these are also our big machines up front. That's not bad. Secret for those, if anybody watches my videos and goes to this laundromat, that's a 50-pound washer. That's our cheapest one because I can't figure out how to price it. But people hardly ever use it, and the thing is, it's on a smaller base, so it doesn't look as big as it is. But if you want to know how big the washer is, look at the. These aren't bad. These are pretty good. There's like baskets on the washers. Like there's 3 baskets or there's 5 baskets. That tells you how many loads it is. So like this one is a 6-load, 60-pounder. And so that's bigger than a 50-pounder. It can handle more laundry, do more, and still have 6 baskets on it. Well, people I don't think understand it. They just look at how big they are, what size they are. But those baskets will tell you how big they are and then how much laundry they can do. So the one is a 50-pounder, but people still use other 50-pounders over it that are more expensive because they look bigger, even though they aren't. So hopefully that made sense. These have 3 baskets on them, right? Or no, that's 2. 2, yeah. These are 2. It has a 2. See? Hips, and it's got a 2 right by the baskets. So that tells you it's a 2-load washer. So it's basically, honestly, kind of the same as a normal one, but they call it a 2-load. The Horizons are the same way. The white ones behind me are Horizons. That's what I have in my small laundromat. And somebody was asking me, they said, hey, I've got a 1,000 square foot laundromat that's been down for 7 years. I want to get some new machines. You know, what should I get? Should I get those white ones you have? And I can give you some tips on what people told me before I built mine. And I didn't build it from scratch, but added to mine. And I didn't always listen to everybody. But these Horizons, these are the white ones. Out of order, error, door code. They're always breaking. Always. So in general, Speed Queens are really good. These are Speed Queen washers. But the Horizons were not their shining moment for quality. So these you can buy fairly cheap used. They're all over the place. And there's a reason, because they break a lot. People really don't like them that much. So if you can get the hips, the ones I just showed you behind me, those actually seem to do a lot better. Almost never have problems with those. Or if you can go kind of the Speed Queen 3-load washer, a little bigger, they're much more expensive, but you can charge more for them too. They do better laundry. They're a lot heavier duty, and we'll show you those in just a second. Those are much better. Now the thing to think about this, and a lot of people know this from watching my videos, these Horizons, these hips can kind of go anywhere, right? You can put them on a base. You don't even have to put them on a base. For a long time, mine weren't even on a base. It helps if they are. But if you go to these bigger machines, depending on what kind they are, my laundry cart's broken. Figure that out. These are kind of the 3-load Speed Queens. They're more heavy duty, a lot better machine. But if you go to these, you might have to be on 3-phase power. Depending on what kind they are, you might have to be on concrete floors. So, I mean, every laundromat should have concrete floors, but my small one doesn't, and I realized, what a detriment that is. So if you're limited by that, you got to pay attention to what machines you get. Now, I think these machines are actually just 2-phase. Oh, I missed. I usually hit that shot. But if I get any bigger up to my 40-pounders, they're 3-phase. But they're all different. Like in the newer ones they've made, I feel like they're going away from 3-phase as much and trying to make them 2-phase. You have some of their soft mount. That means that they can take more vibrations and don't have to be on concrete floors, but those are harder to find too. So I mean, that's one reason if you want to buy all new stuff, you can kind of buy exactly what you want and pay for what you want. But you're going to pay, 3 times as much as I paid for my used stuff that I just kind of made work. So there's lots of different theories and ideas on what to do, how to do it, but I have learned a lot over the last almost 2 years now about owning laundromats. And I learned a lot before that too, before I bought mine, but a lot of stuff people told me was true and worked out, even though I didn't always listen to everybody. Sometimes you have to learn the lesson yourself. But the Horizons were cheap and available. They were in a laundromat that went defunct, and I took a bunch of them out. So, yeah. I was supposed to get new buckets, too. I'm trying to fix that cart. It's all bent up. So I ordered new buckets, metal buckets from Amazon, but it turns out I forgot to hit, checkout on my shopping cart, so I never got them. So they are coming. In fact, they might come here today. Today is actually the day after I film this video. But getting those. And then I got a bonus from my new liquor store. They had a big ice scoop. So I've got a small ice scoop I use for my quarters, and they had a big one available that I'm like, are you using this for anything? Like, nope. So I got a bigger ice scoop I'll take with me next time too. Those are change machine cleaners right there. All right. All right, so let's see what we ended up here with. Now, I know I was talking about a lot of different stuff. We actually had quite a bit of quarters in here, so I think we're going to have a really good week. It kind of matches up with how much cash we had in the machine, the change machine, over the week as well. So what we're going for is at least 3,000 quarters from the big washers, which is this first bucket, and then I want over 6,000 total from both of them together. So we will see what we end up with, and I won't make you watch the entire change thing. Although, what? There's $1 coin stuck in those. So a couple of times I've seen this. Some of I think my 80-pound washers do take dollar coins, even though it's not marked that they take them, I don't think. And so once in a while we do get $1 coin in there. And so, yeah, I've got $1 coin, and then my little belt came off. So we fixed that. And I'm being very diligent about looking for those dollar coins. And another one. And then, I don't know if you noticed, I dumped the dollar coin that was on my tray into my bucket. And so, there it is. Okay, got it. I can't remember if there are 2 or 1. Just 1. The drama of a small-time laundry. One other tip I would give people who are thinking of starting a laundromat, a lot of them do wash and fold. They bring in way more revenue that way. I am so glad I don't do wash and fold. And I've talked to a lot of other laundromat owners too, and they're kind of like, yeah, the only reason we do it is because, we want people there, we want it attended, and that kind of pays for the people to attend it, but it doesn't make as much money. But I'm so glad that we don't have to manage more people and customers and have a POS system and take all of that stuff into account for wash and fold. It's so much easier just having non-attended laundromat. We have cameras, nothing too crazy's gone on. And I think sometimes like a lot of our customers like that too, because there's no staff there to bother them or bug them. I know some of the homeless people like it because they can use our bathroom and mess around some. But no, we really don't have too much of that. But in general, yeah, it makes it so much simpler and so much easier not to be attended. And I actually talked to the previous owners of the laundromat too, because they come in and do laundry still. They're actually really good people. And they've kind of said the same thing, like, oh, I wonder if we should have done it this way, where we didn't do wash and fold, because it just makes your life so much simpler. And I think they actually ran it themselves, where they did all the wash and fold themselves too, which is, kind of giving yourself another job. So there's a lot of different ways to run businesses and laundromats, but sometimes trying to increase revenue the most you possibly can isn't the best route if you're ignoring expenses and how much time it takes and all of that. So not trying to say it's wrong to do wash and fold, because some people do great with it and make money with it, but I don't think you have to. I don't think that's, you don't always have to do everything the same. All right. Anyway, we had way over 3,000 from the first bucket. Sorry. Got distracted again. And hopefully my new buckets come here soon, because that bucket is definitely having issues. We should have a really good week. I'm pretty excited about where we're going to be with all of this. Sometimes fun to watch the bucket fill up too. Like I said, we'd like to get at least 6,000. And we're going to get there for sure. Because I've still got quarters in that bucket. We might have gotten to 6,000 even without that extra dump. Sorry, not sure if that was the correct term to use, but creeping up there. There's 6,000. We still have a ton of quarters left. There's at least a couple hundred quarters in the turny tray thingy still, the turn spin thing. 64. 65. Oh, that was a really good number. So we'll put that on our chart. We'll see how we do. Oh yeah, plus we had a couple extra in the dollars. Oh, here are the dryers. I almost dropped that tray on the ground. Almost, I caught it. If you remember last week, the bucket, why it's broken, I dumped about 1,000 quarters on the ground. And thankfully Teresa helped me pick it up. But yeah, that's why I need metal buckets. And some people said you can use the handle to hold them. You can use a handle, but those will break too. I've broken those handles as well. So that's why I try to grab the bucket. What I really need to do to be safe is you grab the bucket by both sides on the top below kind of the ridge with both hands. And that's usually this. Well, you can grab it underneath, I guess, too. But it's kind of hard to get your hands underneath it when it's in the basket. And that will pretty much prevent you from breaking it. But I tried to grab the bucket with one hand, and so all the pressure was on that one side, and it just snapped on me. Made for a good video, though, if you missed it. That was last week. A short and the long video. It's always really hard for me to tell how much money is in the dryers. These seem pretty decent, but for whatever reason, it's way easier for me to tell if the washers are fuller or doing good, but the dryers, I'm just like, these seem like the same every week. Even though they're a little different. Our machine's been doing pretty good, but then I just got a message from someone at the laundromat yesterday that our number 11 dryer is not, or no, this morning, not yesterday. Or no, was it last night? I don't know. But they said it wasn't working, and it was someone I knew, can give them a refund, and they actually had a note they could put on it that said it wasn't working. So. And we just fixed that one before. I forgot what was wrong with it, but that's the thing. If you're going to own a laundromat, just know everything's going to break all the time, constantly. And if you want it to all be fixed immediately, and you can't do like literally everything yourself, you will probably go bankrupt. So if you see laundromats with lots of out of order signs, give them a break. Realize that stuff is always constantly breaking, and it's virtually impossible to keep everything working. Even a brand new laundromat will have stuff constantly breaking because drains get stuck, new systems don't work right. There's just so many things that can go wrong. Okay, that wasn't a dollar coin getting stuck. All right, for the dryers, we like to see at least 2,000 quarters. And I would assume we will get there based on what was in the washers. It is nice out in Colorado this week. It was in the 50s, 60s. I golfed for the first time in a long time. And so I feel like in nice weather, some people might, dry their clothes outside a little more. But I don't think it happens a ton. We're creeping up there. We're definitely going to get to 2 because there's at least that much in the turn style thing I was talking about before. Our bucket's getting full too. There's 2,200, so are we up to 2,300? Oh, that's a really good week for the dryers. And my camera literally lost its power right here, or it ran out of memory. That's what it was. But there are 3 quarters stuck in there too. I heard something, so I added those. And here is our chart starting in December of 2023, going till now. You can see in the very beginning, I was happy when I got 1,200 a week. And I think, gosh, if I remember right, I think it was we needed to be about 1,500 to make money. Maybe a little less than that was our break-even point. And so with rent and utilities and cleaning and all that. So it took us a good few months to become profitable, but things have been better lately. And then we had a couple really good weeks. Again, I've said this before. My computer, takes a tremendous amount of power to run these videos and edit them, especially with the Insta360. For some reason, those videos take even more power. So when it's slowing down like this on my chart, it's usually because I'm uploading other stuff and working on other stuff, and it's just too much for my computer. So I apologize for not being totally smooth, but you can kind of see the gist of things. So there was our crazy record in November, sorry, and definitely saw an increase. But then there was our record 2 weeks ago. No, that wasn't our record. Or was it? Yes, it was. Sorry. And then we had a really down week last week. That's right. So that was our record in end of January. And then we had decent weeks in a really down week last week. And now 23, 27, back up again. I think that's our 3rd highest week. One of our highest cash collection days. So good to see that. Busy weekend. Busy week at the laundromat. Hopefully we can keep this trend going up and just continue that. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, doesn't take much time. It is making money. It's a fun business. I like doing my videos there. So I enjoy it. The small laundromat is still fun, but it just takes a lot of time. It's farther away. Doesn't have quite the profit of this one, and that's why that one's for sale. The liquor store loses money like nobody's business right now, but hopefully we can turn that around, and that's why the business was so cheap. All right, thanks for watching. We'll have updates on everything. Next week, we have a new flip we just bought yesterday. We'll show you that, which has a solar lean on it too, which will be exciting, and buying another flip in a couple more weeks. So we're busy. We have a lot going on, and love to hear what you think.